You know what? I want to say it's the Morning Joe guy. I can't remember his name. Joe something or other. Scarborough. Yeah. He early on made the claim that this kid, crossed state lines with a gun illegally and shot like 60 rounds at different people.
I'm just curious, so just generally, here we have a 17-year-old kid, underage, said he bought an AR-15 because he thought it was cool. He drove across state, had his mother drive him across state lines. He appointed himself a militia member. He goes around and he ends up unloading, 60 rounds, kills.
Even though it might be small, why isn't he held accountable for being wrong about that? Because that screws up everybody else.
And called it an assault rifle.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So I want to talk a little bit about some of the media stuff that happened prior to the trial beginning. Now, keep in mind, this whole thing unfolded back in August of 2020. And so there's, we're now a year plus later. And so there's a lot of this information. And some of the statements I just wrote down that were claims about this thing from the media is that Rittenhouse crossed state lines. And that was like this big hullabaloo because, he didn't live in Kenosha. He lived in the state next to Wisconsin. Which state are we talking about here, Mr. Producer? You could say Illinois. I think that's what we're talking about. Thanks for your help there, Ethan. So he's really, the estimates are right around like a 30-minute commute to Kenosha from his house, and the media was talking about how this kid didn't even belong in Kenosha and all this stuff. Well, turns out as we go over the details of the case that his dad and his father's family, his grandma and his uncles and his cousins all live in Kenosha.
That's right, and he visits his dad regularly,
and he works in Kenosha.
It's because they were questioning him on how are you protecting your community? This is not your community, which I will say upsets me because I live in Oregon, and if something goes down in New York, damn it, that's my country, that's my community too. Yeah. I understand what they're saying, but that's kind of weak in my opinion.
It is kind of weak.
If he's going out because he's trying to help and protect and any place in America, so be it.
But here's the other thing is that if you think about it from the other side of like the protesters and the people who ended up rioting and looting and all this, a lot of those folks came from out of town too.
Well, especially one of the gentlemen that he, blew his arm off, essentially. He came from twice as the distance. Yeah. And that doesn't, they're not holding that against him. And he had a firearm with him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just a similarity.
Those will be some good details when we get into it, because a lot of people didn't even consider the circumstances surrounding that very event.
That's right.
Another one, media claims that Rittenhouse illegally had the gun, made claims that he was 17 and not allowed to carry that particular gun, and in some cases made the claim that he transported that gun across state lines, both of which turn out not to be true.
That's right. And it is legal for them to open carry rifles and shotguns.
Yeah.
I'm talking about for people under 18. Now, you don't have to like it. So this is a problem that we have with so many people is you could be angry that the law sucks, but don't be angry at Kyle for following the law. Because unfortunately for those people, this is the part that I kind of feel bad, is that you're wrong. That he's following the law. Whether you like it or not, too bad.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, people didn't even bother to check whether that claim was true or not.
And if you don't like it, there are means to attempt to change laws.
Yeah. So early additional claims, they claimed a lot of the left-leaning, the MSNBCs, the CNNs, ABC was on the list as well.
The winners of the world.
Yeah. They made some claims that Rittenhouse had murdered 2 innocent men. The thing is,
pre-trial.
Yeah, you can't even say that he murdered. You can say that he's been arrested and charged with murder, but you can't say that he murdered. That tells a different story. It sets up these ideas in people's heads. They
haven't even polled jurors.
Yeah.
So the people that hear that could sway their opinion of what's going on.
That's right.
And when they poll the jurors, it could be an issue.
Yeah, here's another one. is that they said that Rittenhouse was a white supremacist. And there's no evidence anywhere that suggests that he had any ties to being a white supremacist.
Well, to be fair, these days you could be black and be considered a white supremacist. So why not uphold that? That card was coming regardless. So I'm not even going to talk against it. So it's just a weak. It's weak now.
It is.
It's used on everything. Somebody wouldn't give their money back. To them. at the ice cream stand. Well, they've got to be a white supremacist. We're going to go with that. It's just they've used it out.
Yeah.
Sorry. Now the real white supremacists out there are like, can't nail it on me.
Right.
These guys are idiots.
Yeah. Another thing was that the judge was biased. That he was. He was sort of the guy who was contributing to the white supremacy and systemic racism, because the judge himself was protecting and yelling at the prosecution and trying to control the courtroom on Kyle Rittenhouse's behalf. And of course, these people they're not even watching what's going on in court, and they don't even know the rules of the court. The judge is there to provide some rules of engagement within the courtroom. Well, here's the racial side of the media bias,
because we have to have it.
Yeah,
that's the first thing that occurred to me. The first thing that occurred to me after this ruling is, oh, well, okay, now it's just open season. Like if I'm walking around and I'm a white nationalist, coward little kid with an AR-15, and I see somebody drive by with a Black Lives Matter bumper sticker and I feel threatened, I can open fire. If I go by a youth group standing outside the local Target and they're chanting Black Lives Matter and I feel threatened, I can open fire. Paul, is the ruling today really a precedent, or is this the kind of thing that was always going to end up happening and we shouldn't see this as a real watershed moment?
It's not a formal legal precedent, Jason, but make no mistake, Rittenhouse will be the poster child for reactionary white men who want to take the law in their own hands, who want to bring assault weapons to Black Lives Matter's protests, and who think that violence is a legitimate form of political discourse.
Oh, so they're taking so he is admitting that Black Lives Matter is taking responsibility for the riots at the Kenosha.
Oh, I didn't catch that read. That's a good point.
And then we have Al Sharpton, I noticed.
Yeah.
Because that's going to make it all right.
I liked fat Al Sharpton. I think he looks sick the way he looks
this
now.
is crackhead Al Sharpton.
Yeah.
But now he actually looks.
Yeah.
At least he looked fat and rich. Now he looks like I got in trouble because I didn't pay my taxes.
Your taxes, yeah.
But
go back to the comment that this guy was making, which is, this is giving license to any white nationalist kid who feels like they can go around with an AR-15 and shoot at Black Lives Matter protests.
How many people did he shoot that were black?
Let me check the numbers. None.
How many did he kill?
2
that were black.
White dudes.
And you know what? And the only guy that was black that he shot at, that he wasn't even trying to kill, but he was trying to freaking eliminate him from kicking him in the face again.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he got lucky. He didn't get shot. But I'm just saying is he didn't go around shooting any black people. And I'm telling you, as dangerous as those AR-15s and how often they like to go run around at night and shooting people on their own, that he could have easily went around and picked off a few black people on his own if that was his intentions.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for listening to the shortened version of our show.
If you want to catch the full audio episode, you can find it here or wherever you find your podcasts. But if you want to see the full version in video format, you can catch us on YouTube, Rumble, and now on Spotify.